Today, we're going to dive into the secret of how you move from feeling totally intimidated to making real, authentic connections in those really high-stakes rooms. And here's a hint. It has nothing to do with being the loudest person there. It's all about mastering a quiet, internal confidence.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? That moment. The one where a leader, an influencer, someone you deeply admire, just walks into the room. And what happens? Your heart starts pounding, your mind goes completely blank, and you just stand there, frozen. That exact moment of hesitation is what we're going to unpack today.
And this right here is the most crucial point. Most people don't fail because they aren't talented or don't have something valuable to offer. No, they fail when that big opportunity shows up and their courage decides to disappear. It's the failure to act, not a lack of ability, that keeps so many amazing people behind closed doors.
So where does that fear even come from? Well, I can tell you this. It's not about the room itself. It's actually about the story you're telling yourself before you even step inside. Think about it. Before you've even taken a single step into that space, your mind has already run 100 different comparisons. It's already convinced you that everyone else is more prepared, more polished, more deserving than you are. That internal story, that is the real barrier, and it's built on a foundation of fear, not on reality.
So how do we fix it? Well, it's a simple but incredibly powerful mental switch. Instead of seeing that room as a test where you could fail, try seeing it as a laboratory where you get to learn. Just shifting your mindset from, "they're way above me," to, "I'm just here to learn and observe." That simple change instantly takes all the pressure off and opens you up to having a real connection.
You know, if you want to connect with powerful people, you have to first understand what power actually is. And spoiler alert, it's probably not what you're thinking. We tend to imagine power as this loud, dramatic, dominant force, right? But real, sustainable power, it's almost never like that. It's quiet. It's this calm, intentional energy that comes from someone who is crystal clear on their purpose. It's built on their competence and their consistency, not on a flashy job title or a corner office.
So what is it that they're actually looking for? Well, they're surrounded by noise all day, so they value alignment. They get flattered constantly, so they absolutely crave authenticity. Their lives are incredibly complex, so they're drawn to people who bring clarity. And they don't need you to need them, they value your unique perspective.
And this is the core takeaway of this whole section. You have to stop trying to put on a performance. Your goal isn't to be impressive, it's to align with these core values. The moment you show up with authenticity and clarity, you're meeting them on equal ground.
Okay, so this leads us to our next crucial part. Because before you can master any interaction out there, the real work has to start from within. It all begins with building an identity that naturally attracts the right kind of people.
So, how do you do that? It really comes down to these 3 pillars. First, you have to get crystal clear on what you stand for and where you're headed. Second, you've got to build emotional discipline. Trust me, nothing repels influential people faster than neediness or insecurity. And third, you have to focus on offering genuine value. And that's not just about what you can do for them, but the clarity and perspective you bring to the conversation itself.
All right, once that internal foundation is set, let's shift to the external. Here's the practical, real-world playbook for how you actually navigate those conversations.
But listen, before you even open your mouth to say a word, you have to get past your own worst enemy, yourself. We all carry these invisible, psychological blockers that hold us back long before anyone else ever gets the chance to.
So what are these barriers? Well, there's self-comparison, which always shrinks your contribution. There's the fear of judgment, which silences your voice. And then there's my personal favorite, over-preparation. That feeling that you need a perfect script for every possibility, that's usually just procrastination wearing a business suit. Just acknowledging that these exist is the first step to getting past them.
The real key here is to just let go of the need to be flawless. A first impression isn't a performance, it's a preview of your character. It's all about how you make the other person feel in those first 30 seconds. And that comes down to one thing, your presence.
Just think about the energy you're projecting. On one side, you have that scattered, nervous energy that most people bring, rambling, kind of apologizing for being there. But on the other side, you have a clear, concise, and sincere opening. That second approach shows emotional control and, really importantly, respect for their time. 2 things that influential people notice immediately.
You want to know a skill that almost everyone underestimates?
You create a magnetic first impression not by trying to be interesting, but by actually being interested. When you listen deeply and you make the other person feel like they are truly seen and heard, you stand out instantly. It's like a superpower.
Okay, let's bring this all home with the final and I think the most important principle of all. This is about creating lasting connections by dropping the act and focusing on what true alignment really means.
So many of us fall into the trap of pleasing. You know what I'm talking about. That's when you're just seeking approval, agreeing with everything, and you kind of lose yourself in the process. Real influence, though, it comes from holding your center. It's about adding your unique perspective, even if it's different. High-level people respect perspective. They don't respect compliance.
And this quote just sums it all up perfectly. Real influence is born when you are grounded in your own values, your intentions, and your identity. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. It's an internal state that just naturally projects outward.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Connection isn't about status. It's not about luck. It's about presence. It's about showing up with the quiet, grounded confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are and the value they bring to the table, without ever needing to shout about it.
Ultimately, the barriers that are holding you back are invisible, and those doors in front of you, they were never actually locked. They're just waiting for you to have the courage to step forward and try the handle. So the only question is, are you ready?